Hello, this is DrGAKMAN here again, selling some more Nintendo related items. Can't really get a good view of these from far away, but this is a Super NES collection. I'm going to go through each game really quickly before I go into individual descriptions. This is Super Mario All-Stars. This is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. This is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This is F-Zero. This is the original Street Fighter II, The World Warrior. This is Super Street Fighter II, The New Challengers. This is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. This is Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. This is The Secret of Mana, Seiken Densetsu 2. This is Contra 3, The Alien Wars. This is Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4. It was an arcade game with the Turtles in Time. Saturday Night Slam Masters. EA Sports presents Madden NFL 94. Metal Warriors. And Ranma 1/2, Hard Battle. Now I'll go through each game individually. This, as you'll see, the first 3 rows that I have of games here all have boxes. Most of these games were bought brand new. I will make a note as I go of the ones that were, either don't have instructions or were bought used or have any problems with them. And then we'll do the last row, which are games without boxes or instructions. But either way, got to think about this for a moment here. This one is, again, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario All-Stars. It includes the Lost levels, which is the first time that American audiences got to legitimately play Super Mario Brothers 2 from Japan. It's called the Lost levels. It's also got Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario Brothers 2, which happens to be Doki Doki Panic in Japan. This one was bought, I believe, new. The box looks pretty good. These are all, I would say, collector's, pretty much, edition, or not edition, but collector's condition. There are some folds and tears in the instructions or whatever. Most all of them have the instructions, like I said, except for, I'm going to just go through and really quickly and tell you which ones don't. Except for Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, and Super Street Fighter II. Neither one of those, of course, have instructions. They do have the books, though. The book on Mario RPG is, or the box on Mario RPG is kind of messed up. There were stickers and, sticker residue. There's a cut on the top of this box here. You can kind of see it for Super Street Fighter. And there's a sticker on here. I left it on here because, I figure it would probably ruin it just like it ruined the other one if I tried to tear it off. It wouldn't ruin it. It'd still be a box. It'd still be good, but it'd just look more used. The games themselves, though, are still work. To my knowledge, I haven't played these in a long time. Maybe some of the battery back saves might not work, but those are always fixes later on for collectors if you want to do it that way. This one does have one of the Be Kind Rewind. I don't know how you do that on an NES game, and Blockbuster Video labels on the side, but beyond that, it still works and everything. The only other game that has any kind of marks on the front of it, besides that Mario RPG, was this Metal Warriors. This one was a very hard to get a hold of game, and it cost me a pretty penny, and I bought it used, without a box or instructions or anything. I think I paid $50 for it, even all these years later, and even though it was used, very used. But it still worked. Believe me, that was one of the last games that I played on I have a Super NES 2, and then I have my old Super NES back there. Anyway, all the other games have boxes and instructions except for this last row, like I said before. This is an original launch F-Zero. None of these are like reissues except for, this was reissued by Majesco, but it is a Capcom game, the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. After, the arcade game became pretty popular, and Capcom definitely had a hold of the Marvel license, certainly they reissued this game because of the popularity of the X-Men at the time. Speaking of X-Men, this game is great too. This was the first home console X-Men game by Capcom, I believe, and it kind of showed, this, you could see in the sprite art and stuff like that where they got their influence for the fighting games or whatever. But that's beside the point. This is from LJN, a company that is no more as far as making games, as far as I know. Box is in good condition. It has the instructions. Same thing with Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This was actually published by Konami, but it was a LucasArts game. There was a sequel to this. I don't have that here. This, I believe, might have been a reissue, but I can't remember if the original instruction booklet was color or not. But this one's not color, so it makes me think that this is a reissue. So, and plus the bottom part of it, Contra, is smooth, less plastic. As you'll see in the original Super NES games, they had underneath the lip, they had the plastic hard bulge there. Same thing with this. This was a launch F-Zero, had the large bulge there, so that was the difference between them. I may have to, when I had that pause at about the 2-minute mark, I may have to take one of these covers. So, one of these, but they have the boxes with them. But I might be taking one of these. I can't remember. I forgot to do that before I did this video. But you might be minus one of these covers from the video. And when I say covers, I mean the cartridge cover, this thing right here, not anything super spectacular or whatever. You can get them somewhere else, but I just wanted to possibly take one of those. This one includes one. This one also has the bulge on it too, the Turtles in Time. I bought this, I believe, used. The back and the front look good. This one, the back has a little bit of tears on it, but it's still good. This one I got for free when I bought my Super NES 2. The only thing amazing about this is that this was when Electronic Arts finally started making games for Nintendo. Up until then, they were only making games for Sega and or PC. And this one, I got to tell you, this game is amazing. It's really surprised me. It's something I did not know about when it first came out. My Blockbuster didn't rent it, either that or I just didn't care to take a look at it. But it's like a mech game. I don't know why it says kids to adults. Probably because everything is so small, you couldn't make sense of it. But the sprites and everything. But it is definitely action-packed. It's really fun. This one I got because I was a fan of Japanimations, and this is one of the only, at the time, I don't know who DTMC is, but that's the company that did this. I know it's got a different name besides Hard Battle in Japan and in other parts of the world, and I've even heard of, even in America, they gave it a different name. It does have a mark on the back, though. It says Mark Tucker AL. I don't know who that was. I bought this game used, and the game is fun, and if you're a fan of Ranma 1/2, you'll like this game for its charm. There was a bunch of other Ranma games over in Japan. This was probably not one of the better ones, but it made it over to America legitimately, officially. Secret of Mana is probably one of my favorite games ever on the Super NES. Same thing with Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. I need the money, so I'm getting rid of this stuff. And it really breaks my heart to do this. Street Fighter 2, this was the original one. It's not that big of a deal anymore, I guess. But this was a big deal when the arcade quality came to the household on home console. And it came to Super NES first, and then later the other editions came out on the Genesis. I remember that was a big deal back in the day. Let me show you the backs of all these. This one looks good. It has a little nick right there, but that's not that big of a deal. The back of this, that doesn't look too bad. The back of this, like I said, it has that sticker on there. Back of this, I may be doing some redundant things here by showing you some of this stuff, but I just want to make sure you know what you're getting when you get it. This one has the big fat lip here too. This game was very hard. I liked it though, and I wonder what happened to LJN. This looks good. This one has a rip in the back of it because it was used. Probably tore a sticker off of it that I shouldn't have. This one, brand new still. Oh, wait a minute, I already showed you that one. It has a little nick in the back, and that's it. This one looks great in the back. Can't remember if this was a reissue or not, but either still, it has a full color instruction booklet. I'll probably go through the instruction booklets with you since I got the time. This one doesn't have a sticker on the back, so that makes me think it is a reissue. It just has the plastic lettering on it. This looks good. This has, again, his name on the back, but the sticker's intact. The sticker looks like it's got some oil spots, but beyond that, the game looks good. This one looks okay. This one's got some tears in it. But as far as I know, all of these games still play. And as far as I know, the batteries are still good, but they might not be anymore on some of the games that require saving. Those games would be Mario RPG, Zelda, Secret of Mana, I think Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 saved your some of your stats and your button settings, but I could be wrong. Maybe no, they don't save your button settings, but they do save some of the stats, I believe. And then the other games, except for maybe Madden, that might save some things, but most of the other ones, if the battery's dead on them, it doesn't matter anyway because they weren't saved games. I guess I go over the instructions. Here's Secret of Mana. The instructions looks good. Here's Contra. Not full color instructions, unfortunately. This one I never thought on the inside. Yeah, it is color instructions for Zombies Ate My Neighbors. In the back. Okay. And next row up, Street Fighter 2. I did write in this one. Like when I was a kid, and the instructions when they tell you how to do the moves or whatever, I wrote in pencil like which one to hit, fierce or strong, or what were the 3 kicks and the 3 punches? I can't remember those. Roundhouse, fierce, jab, strong. I can't remember what they all are, but anyway, this one had no instructions. And this one is black and white instructions inside and out, unfortunately. Those are a reissue, I believe. Let's see if I can... yeah, this is black and white, but it has some cool character art in here. A lot of them do. I was really seriously debating on whether I wanted to sell Secret of Mana or Legend of Zelda or not, because those are 2 of my favorites, but I'm selling it, and I think that makes this collection pretty nice. This Metal Warriors makes it nice too, because it is very hard to get a hold of. Ranma, if you're a Japanimation fan. This one's got full color. This was cool because, you know, a lot of people didn't like this game because it was kind of cheesy in some ways. And compared to other Marvel games that were made better later on by Capcom, graphics-wise anyway. Here's the instructions for F-Zero. Looks pretty good. There are no other inserts in these. There's just the instructions and the games. None of the, like this one I think came with a mat when I bought it. I don't have it here. Same thing with Secret of Mana. This one, no instructions. And the last set of instructions right here. I'm almost at the 15-minute mark, and you're probably bored with this. You either know you're going to get it, or you don't know. So, happy bidding, and thank you so much for watching. You are bidding on a great memory collection of Super NES games.